Hello, so this is my 1982 VW Rabbit. This is the charger cable that comes in. You can see it's connected to the positive side of the contactor and goes directly to the battery positive terminal. And this is just basically a direct connection. I don't have a relay or anything that would stop it. And then the other part of it goes to the B- side, going to the contactor, to the controller. And you can see here there's no relays or anything, it's direct connection. This cable goes all the way back to the back end of the car. You can see it keeps going. That's my fuse that splits the pack. There's 12 cells here in the front, and you can see the cell taps from my BMS are all connected. They're on all the cells. So I have an AC50 system here in my 1982 VW Rabbit. You asked me for a video that shows a working BMS. So this is my BMS. It's kind of hard to see. It's basically an OrionBMS, and you can see there's no lights or anything that shows what the status of the BMS. Underneath here I've got my charger. It's hard to see, the light's not so great, but that's the charger that comes from BestGo, and you can see the two lights on it. You can see there they are yellow and green, and that's the CAN bus that's connected. I did some checking earlier today. I've rebuilt this cable several times, and the cable is all connected. You can see this is my CAN adapter. You can see the DB9 connection. I've got a termination resistor that's underneath the tape. It's exactly as it should be. So this is the computer program. We'll do our best to try to show exactly the battery management system. But you can see here, this is the OrionBMS. The program's going to open, and just a second. So here we can go to File and connect the BMS. We have to choose 250 baud rate and connect. So you can see here on the CAN bus adapter there's no red light, which is the error light. It's kind of hard to see, it's fuzzy. And the green is the activity. So you can see there's a little bit of activity going on. In the background you see the charger, there's nothing happening there. So in the BMS software, it came up with a message that says, would you like to download the settings from the BMS? We'll say yes. So there's a warning here that we're going to download and we're going to overwrite whatever's in the program. We're going to say yes. We'll try it this way, see better. So the battery profile was successfully received from the BMS. So my CAN is working, and here we have the OrionBMS GUI. So if you look here, you have live text data, which is basically a screenshot of everything that's going on. This line here, pack amperage, this would be the amperage that would be going into the pack from the charger. This pack charge current limit is currently set to 16 amps because of the charger that I have. And you can see at 110 volts, 16 amps, the charger should put out 16.5 amps. And the charger is being sent a message to charge 16 amps, but you can see here the charger is not putting out any amperage at all. My pack voltage, you can see, is 104 or 100.4 volts, which is plenty of volts. Everything's in good shape. You can look at the live cell data. I've got 12 cells in the front that you saw earlier, and there are 20 cells in the back. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a bank, and there are 2 banks of 10. So there's 20 cells in the back, and then the 12 in the front are these on the bottom. So I know you don't speak American, but I don't speak Chinese, so I'll talk a little bit slower. Maybe you can rewind. But you can see all the voltages are better than 3 volts. The lowest cell voltage is 3.019 volts, and the highest is 3.2 06. So here we see everything we need. So in the software, I worked with the BMS company, and they allowed me to try a beta app. And the beta app, it shows the actual CAN messaging. So I'll bring that up real quick. It takes a minute. In the meantime, we'll cycle the charger just to see some different lights. So go ahead and turn the charger off. And there the charger's unplugged. We'll plug it back in. The same lights. Everything's the same. There's no error messages on the CAN bus. We got a beta version of the same software. Here the difference is if we go to File and we connect to the BMS again, through the CAN, it shows 250 megabits per second, which is the baud rate. We connect. We will skip the download for now, and we will look at the live CAN bus traffic, which is in the beta version of the software, and we will start to look at the messaging. So here you can see the CAN bus messages that are in the documentation sent by Candy. You have to the charger and from the charger, and you can see here there's an error message here. The red cells in this table basically indicate a change of status. Sorry about my shakiness here. So you can change. You see the change of status in byte 7 of the last line there. It changes from 00 to 80, and in hex I'm not sure what that is. And you can see in byte 1 the value just changed, so it changed to red, and it goes from 00 to 02. And this matches the screenshot of the stuff I sent earlier. The other messages there are some standard messages built into the BMS, and the last two messages are from the charger. And these are identical messages that support the LCON as well as the BestGo. So here is my BMS. It's definitely working. This is the CAN status. If we want to look in the beta software, we can look at the same things. We can stop this. And then we can go to any of these others. So here's the live test data. Sorry for my shakiness again. You can see the charger's not putting out any amperage in this line, pack amperage. And here's the messaging going to the BMS that the current charge limit should be 16 amps. I can actually turn this. I have a safety switch that I put in, just a temporary thing until I get an actual relay going. I can turn this off, and you can see a change in the BMS here. So where it was 16, the pack current charge limit was 16. Now it's back to 76, which would be consistent with the charge current in the battery specs of 3C. Actually, I didn't set it that high. I set it like probably half of that. So you can see here this is a calculated value. I'll turn the switch back on. You can see it goes back to 16 amps. The battery management system is working very, very well. Unfortunately, for my charger, I don't have any difference in those lights. This is the only light combination I've ever gotten out of this charger, and I don't think it's working. And if it was working, it would have charged my batteries, and I would be at a state of charge that is much higher than what we have. So my state of charge would be, if I look at the live cell data, my state of charge would be well past 50%, which I used a regular 12-volt charger charging 4 cells at a time. So this is my little 10-minute video. Please let me know what what you say or what you think, and I look forward to a response. Thank you.